Good morning, good afternoon, depending where you are. Anderson Barkat here. Let's start our webinar for the day, Excel with Rovo, when our team will deep dive in this newest Atlassian artificial intelligence tool. Once again, the webinar will be led by our Fernando duo, Fernando Eugênio and Fernando Campos. Soon I will give them the word so they can introduce themselves. Just remember, during the webinar, feel free to use the chat or the Q&A session to ask as many questions as you want. They will try to address all the questions during the webinar. If we don't have time for that, we will answer after the webinar the remaining questions. Okay. Also, don't forget to follow us in our social media, LinkedIn, Instagram. Soon we will be posting about our next webinar, all of our new solutions, and also another invite. If you are in Orlando or you planning to go to Orlando, we will be in Service Management World for November 17th to 21st. Stop by our booth so we can talk more, not only about Rovo, but our ITSM solutions. Hope to see you all there. And again, in our social media, you will find some coupons if you are not registered yet in the Service Management World event. Take a look in our social media. You will find some special coupons to register to the event. Let me give the host to Fernando Campos. Fernando, now you're the host. Feel free to start. You are on mute.
Hello, everyone. How are you guys doing? Like Anderson said, my name is Fernando, and I'll be one of the presenters for you guys on this topic. We're going to show a few use cases and mention a few more. Basically, show you the possibilities and the ways you can use Rovo to integrate and improve your day-to-day process and your instance as a whole. So go ahead, Fernando, my duo. You can introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. I am Fernando as well. We are not Gemini, but we are Fernando de both. So I am technical lead in Nimble Evolution, and now we have the great opportunity to present to you the new era of AI and automation around Atlassian ecosystem called Rovo. So I hope you enjoy the presentation. And if you have any questions, feel free to put it on in QA. And let's go. Just confirming, Fernando, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so let's start. Thanks, Anderson. And please stay here if you have some questions around licensing and costs.
I'll be here.
Thanks. Yeah. Okay. So we already presented ourselves, but again, I am Fernando Eugênio, and this is my LinkedIn profile. If you please feel free to make connections, and if you have any other questions in the future, feel free to reach out to us in LinkedIn profile. And Fernando Campos, if you want to reinforce your name or LinkedIn profile.
Perfect. Like Fernando mentioned, my name is Fernando as well. I'm one of the tech leads / team leaders here. And feel free after the webinar to reach us through email, through the LinkedIn, even through the Nimble page itself to ask any questions that may pop up in your head a few hours from now, or any inquiries about help or different processes. We're more than happy to help. Moving on to the presentation itself.
Yep.
This is the agenda that we're going to cover today. Basically, we're going to talk a little bit about Rovo and what it does and how it can help you. And come what it may, like you say in the second part, we show different use cases and different possibilities for you to use Rovo. And from all the way to the beginning, using the set tools and the set agents, all the way to the end where you can configure the agents itself. We're not going to show the configuration itself because it's a process that takes way longer than an hour, but we're going to show you it working so you can open your minds and think about the possibilities that you can do in the future. And after that, we're going to cover a HR case, a few a video related to the search connectors, And last but not least, we're gonna open for questions to help you guys to solve any questions that may arise during the presentation. But like Anderson mentioned, we love to do webinars with open mic policy. On this case, open chat policy. So feel free to ask questions at any time, and don't wait until the end when you may forget the questions. So just type the questions away. If it's pertinent and we can answer at that point, we will, or otherwise we'll save to the end. So feel free to say anything at any point.
Yeah, if just a thing that you need to have in mind that Rovo makes a part of package Atlassian Intelligence Solutions. So everything around Atlassian Intelligence AI, artificial intelligence, it's because Atlassian Intelligence makes more part of my day-to-day. So Rovo makes part of this big ecosystem around artificial intelligence that Atlassian is making some bets for the next years. And Rovo use Atlassian Intelligence itself, but also Rovo use your own artificial intelligence to make processes and processes questions and answers and actions inside your environment. So when we are talking about Rovo, we are talking about innovation, evolution, but most important we're talking about artificial intelligence, Atlassian Intelligence in whole ecosystem around these features. Okay, so have in mind, because sometimes we are considering Rovo as just a make part of a product or a single product, and it's more than this. Is innovation using artificial intelligence to make or take activities or help us to take decisions more quick and more efficient.
Yeah, like Fernando mentioned, the big part about Rovo is not a plugin or anything like that. It's a separate tool. So it brings a lot to the table. Different integrations, can talk to almost any tools, and it's still in its infancy. So we should be expecting a lot more features, and it should grow as a product in the next few years. And our prediction here at Nimble is that this comes as a huge innovation, like Fernando mentioned, and it's going to become a big powerhouse in our clients. And on the next months, we're gonna see it or I think we already have 3 requests to implement in our clients. So you're gonna see more and more adoption of this product across the board.
The most important, we are using Rovo inside our company. Yeah, our CEO are using Rovo to some cases, and it's so great to know that Rovo impacts CEO, C levels, and developers. You know, all company roles or our company users, employers should be able to use Rovo for your cases independent. Oh, let's start. Already posted. I, Fernando, to your
Perfect.
name, man.
Basically, we are just doing a play on words. I don't know if you guys read the description, but what comes first, the AI or Rovo, the use cases. And just to join the Rovolution, we like to present you the first step where you would install Rovo, you would basically acquire the product. And the first part you can actually start using is the pre-built agents, like we're showing here. And the pre-built agents are very easy to use. You just click on them and they're gonna help you with day-to-day tasks. So maintaining activities, operating your processes, and they are very helpful for basic tasks, and they will learn with everything they do. But like we mentioned, they're helpful on the basic side. It's like automation, for example. Automation delivers you and gives you a lot of different automations already out of the box, but it doesn't give you anything specific that will help you with your organizations per se. It gives more general options for you to cater to everyday use. But if you decide, for example, I need a use case like we're gonna show you regarding HR, regarding money, or anything more specific like budget, then we can do the next steps where we can you move forward, Fernando? Where you can create, like I mentioned, your own Rovo by giving them instructions on how to behave and how to learn from it and what they can expect. So on the use cases that we're going to show you, we created something totally different from what Atlassian gives you, which is related to HR. And on the last step, where you can evolve and basically give that next level to your organization to improve processes, improve creation, improve day-to-day use, and sometimes even automate tasks that will take like hours and hours. With a simple command in Rovo, we'll do it everything for you at snap of your finger.
Yep. And one thing, this is a quick spoiler from the webinar. Next steps is like Rovo can help you to prioritize or help you to take decisions. You'll give a description for your Rovo agent, and also you can give it to him some capabilities like, hey, in my processes, you should prioritize these type of issues, or you can consider those type issues if I ask to prioritize something else. So Rovo can help to you to prioritize issues, or give more special attention for the specific cases. Just you giving your little a simple description while you're creating your Rovo agent. So it's more than an automation rule, like Fernando mentioned it. Like in automation rule, we are saying, according this condition, do this. But Rovo not. Rovo is like, according this condition, help me or bring me these highlights. Bring to me your considerations. Help me to save, to capture, to get sites, to solve problems. So Rovo works independent. You don't need to say specifically do this. You should say, should expect to Rovo, we're gonna together make this. You know,
Yeah,
it makes
and
part of evolved processes.
the best part about Rovo, that the agents that come with Jira, or not the agents, the queues or anything related to Jira, like automations, they don't have, is the ability to learn continuously. So if you create a Rovo agent today and use it for a year, it's going to be a completely different product. They will learn, they will be faster to answer you, they will understand what your organization actually needs, and literally is one of the best AI tools that is fully integrated into ITSM tools that currently exist in the market. We have been trying to like play around with the tool, configure it for I think 15 days now, and all the use cases that we're trying to put it through, we managed to do it. And basically, we are trying to introduce first to our company to learn how to best configure. And like I mentioned, we have I think 2 POCs running, and we have a client that we're moving to implementation phases. So this product, I think, is gonna completely revamp the AI business on the ITSM side.
Okay, this is we're gonna bring to you some samples Rovo agents already built in Atlassian. It's like standard Rovo agents that Atlassian offers for free to you if you have Rovo product inside your environment. So the first one is the Rovo agent called issue organizing. This Rovo agent he helps you to find issues missed, helps to you prioritize your issues, assign it issues to you, bring more historical issues, some issue that you are missing in last weeks or last months. Will help you to prioritize, to say, hey, if I have 10 issues missed, help me to prioritize according to your priorities or according to your descriptions, according my behavior day. So Rovo, this Rovo agent will help to you more personally, or also your team, if you are a product manager or a product owner who manages some sprint board, Scrum board, or Kanban board. These Rovo agents will also help you to get insights from your backlog, from your sprints, from your Kanban board, from your cycle time, something related your team activity dailies or your personal activity dailies.
Yeah, and we always mention that this one, after trying a little bit, We even called it a PO assistant because it can help product owners, it can help Scrum masters, basically anything that you do in Jira software. This will help you organize and keep everything up to shape. Basically, will tie your ship and guarantee you that you're actually having the right stories at the right times. Even fixing the backlog, we already tried and it helps with that. So, for example, categorizing issues that have been on your backlog for, I don't know, 100 days, you will identify that and it will fix itself. So with Rovo, you'll be able to maintain a backlog and maintain your entire process from the beginning to end in the software project running smoothly without any trash or anything that should be removed or should be moved to done already.
Service Request Helper is another Rovo agent designed especially for service management processes. As each organizing can be used in software projects, Service Request Helper can be used in service management projects. And the idea of this agent is helps your agent or your operations to find similar issues, similar incidents, helps you in answer your tickets according your interaction with the user. You can make some actions around your duplicated incidents or duplicated issues. These Rovo agents can also summarize your requests. So in this case, like if you have 3 duplicated incidents or 3 duplicated requests from the same user or from different users, he can bring all those duplicated issues and say, hey, this is the summarize of those issues, and according our behavior or our solutions, this can be the more fast solution to apply of this, and he will learn, and while he is helps you. So this is Rovo agent from another point of view, from operations and our software, but also it can make actions in the tickets and can help your operations to be more efficient or more fast and solution incidents or in requests. And you can also bring more capabilities using these Rovo agents in another point of view, like another case, not only for operations, but if you have GMOD processes, or if you have problem processes, or TSM processes. Let's do resume. I know everybody here can maybe use some TSM or I2 framework, so these agents can help you on this journey.
Yeah, and like Fernando mentioned, the idea is just to speed up the process, not to replace the agents itself. The idea is for them, for example, today we have in Jira the candidate responses. It's just a way for you to automatically send a message to your users. And with the service request helper, you analyze all the history that you have in the tickets, all historical data, and bring you a solution that was already done for your previous agents, by your previous agents. And he will also use your KBs. Instead of the user having to open multiple tabs, he will go into the KB and return that information for you. And the best part is we are running a pilot with one of the clients on the POC. And the idea is to reduce the amount of time it takes to train the agents. And for example, we know that to train an agent on the customer service side, it takes a long time because you have to teach them all about your processes, every single part about how to solve tickets, for example. And with the service request helper, your agent will go into the KBs, return that information, teach them how to fix the problem, give them the best possibilities, and will give them a point-by-point list on how to actually solve each issue. That way you know how to do it and can send that information to the user or fix the problem yourself based on previous commands, based on previous information that it receives. And like Fernando mentioned, when we first started using Service Request Helper, we actually thought it was a little slow, but after a day of using, it became a lot faster. And after you start using a little bit, it learns continuously and becomes even faster, not just retrieving the information, but the accuracy and the quality of the information becomes better, which single use that you have with the tool. Like I mentioned, we're running a little in-house project for 15 days now, where we're learning how to use it, and we can basically already tell you guys that the product that we got 15 days ago and what we have today is completely different. You already learned a bunch of different things and is developing in a very nice pace.
And for Confluence users, Confluence lovers, we have some Rovo agents. One of the main Rovo agents for Confluence is product requirements expert. These Rovo agents can help you to improve your knowledge bases or improve your documentations. He can create pages, he can comment pages, he can learn with your standard for documentation, and he can also suggest to you more page additions or more content that are not according to your line. Like if you have a template or a line of text description, text writing. So these agents, Rovo, can help you in Confluence in everything around the documentation. Just this is another thing, just like you use Atlassian Intelligence for, hey, create for me a content page. It's not the case. This is he can create a content page, and also he can evolve the content page he already created by itself. So this is another level of the thing, another level of the AI working and doing manual job that usually we takes when we needed to review pages like monthly, and a robot can make these review pages to us and just say, hey, this is the review pages and this is according our guidelines, or this is not according our guidelines, and this is the suggestion for new publish for update pages.
Perfect. And like Fernando mentioned, the idea is to be a Confluence agent, and you can basically do what I think everyone here hates, which is create documentation. Is a big pain to do it, and this will help you improve your documentation, basically create and comment pages for you. And the idea is for you to have, for example, a chatbot that based on prompts can actually build something for you and even improve on what you already built. We tried to use some cases here in Nimble where we gave it a few prompts and a few bits of text to expand. And like ChatGPT would do, it gave us a very complete text based on bullet points, based on incomplete text, and really improve the way we were writing documentation over here. Is not going to build anything from scratch. You actually have to give it some information. But based on where you have built on like a Confluence tree or anything like that, you will learn and you will improve your KBs and general information that you have stored in your Confluence.
And I know maybe some of you can have the concern about access information, especially in Confluence, where we can document a lot of things that we can document sensitive information and not sensitive information, or public information that everything in our company or not, for like this page is only for 1 or 2 or 3 persons and not everyone. Rovo is based on user permission. So Rovo will read the page that the user is trying to bring content and see if the user has the permission to access the page content. If not, Rovo will not suggest, Rovo will not bring any information from that. So it's safe as well, we just needed to apply the page restrictions inside page Confluence that I think we are already done in our case. And you don't need to have any concern about if you create some Rovo agent build for Confluence, and if some user that not have the permission to access that page, Rovo will bring the insightful thing. It is not the case. Rovo will just show to the user the content with the same user has a permission. Okay, so this is the Atlassian has a concern as well about information, public information or sensitive information, and is already considered in Rovo interactions.
Yeah, like Fernando mentioned, and this works across all the agents, even the ones you create, you can configure that. So that, for example, let's say that you have an HR project, or on our case, we have a commercial project where commercial team, they have different contracts in there, they have different values, different informations, and you can even have an HR project with different information that is completely secure, like salary or anything like that. And with the Rovo agent, you will never access that. You will also check the project permissions. So you'll only be able to see truly what you are meant to see it. You won't bring information from anything that you block, for example, with security levels or anything that will hide the information from the user. Rovo will not access and bring that information in. So it's a very secure tool, and security, I think, was at the forefront when they developed this. Another question that comes up frequently is if Atlassian is going to store any data. Atlassian won't do that. The Rovo agent just learns the information, but it's completely hidden from Atlassian itself. And even if you want to migrate the agent from one instance to the other, Atlassian will not be able to do that. Each agent is consolidated into a single instance. That way the information is completely secure and completely safe with no security concerns whatsoever.
Let's see a use case Rovo for HR project.
Yeah, we have two different cases, one in Portuguese, one in two in English. We just wanted to show you that, for example, if you have users with different backgrounds, or so let's say they don't speak English or they're in different countries, the same Rovo will work. This configuration here we did based on the human resources page, and you can fully customize it to answer questions in Portuguese and English. This one here is based on the information that Fernando provided. He's asking to return the next the member of the team that is going to have his birthday. And based on the cards that were created, is answering that I'm the next birthday on the schedule. So you can use Rovo to have that basic view where you can see the next people in line to receive an award or timing the company itself, like 5 years, 10 years, whatever. You can also use to automate the emails that you send on the HR side, for example, our company. Like they usually send emails for holidays, emails on specific dates. Each year, the company, they usually send an email and something extra on their anniversary. So basically, you can fully automate tasks regarding the HR side on the email side, but you can also automate a few different tasks that we always like to bring up on this. For example, internal banners in Jira can fully be automated with that. On the HR side, you have informations like contracts. You could have a monitor for the date where it's going to expire, any days when they're going to expire. And we're going to show you on the next example, fully in English. It will be on the budget side of things, where you can analyze when you're making money, how is the budget on your company, and that way you can fully utilize Rovo as specialized tool without having to have an agent or a user pulling that information for you.
Yeah, and in this case, we are just showing us an example from HR. Just considering, we know that HR teams are not very familiar with technologies generally, and sometimes we need to have HR teams integrating our Jira, some boards, and it helps teams that are not familiar with technologies to get more efficiency inside your activity dailies. As part of HR team, maybe you are not comfortable with Jira Enterprise or GQL to bring this information, and just texting with Rovo, you can bring all those information around vacations, around next birthdays, around time inside company, holidays. You just needed to have a place to put it on the information, and your HR team can work together with Rovo to get insights like, hey, who is in vacation around our company? If you have the process to say, hey, this person is in vacation, Rovo just get everyone here is in vacation, and the next date for vacation is this other person, like Fernando Eugênio is in vacation right now. Oh, I like it. But the next one, it will be Fernando Campos, because in November, we'll make 2 years and Nimble Evolution, and this is the expire date to take vacations. So Rovo can help your HR teams to be more efficient, to get more insights of your inside company, and you don't have to bring some confusions or some hard tasks for your chat team because they are not familiar with technology. Just provide a Rovo agent based on your cases, these HR cases, and everything works pretty well because Rovo will learn while the agents are interacting.
Yeah, and like Fernando mentioned, basically every information related to the ticket can be used to present or give insight with Rovo. So he mentioned data of hire, we have the information in departments. You can ask like performance reviews using this, how many tickets that were created per department. And basically, if you have the information inside your Jira, inside your instance, you can configure your tool to bring that information in. And the best part about Rovo, you can also reach across different platforms, different tools, and bring that information in as well. Like Eugênio mentioned, it can be Confluence, but it can also be things outside of Atlassian to have that information and store the information and return that to the user. So it can be KBs outside of it. It can be a lot of different cases. Now moving on into the making money use case that we mentioned.
This is another Rovo agent we call a Dr. Cash, and this is based on budget or contract template. So Rovo, we're gonna see. I'm saying, hey Rovo, bring it to me all tickets that we already done in this week, and I want to see some details of those tickets. Like I want to see company, I want to see their segments, proposals, if you have increased or decreased proposal. So if you are negotiating and all information you are pulling on your Jira issue, Rovo will be able to get for you, and you need to make queries if you're not comfortable, and it's more efficient. You just need to ask, hey, bring it to me, and bring as a table, bring it as just a list, and Rovo will see your platform, see your data, see your prompt, and show it to you. And in this case, we just ask to overbring issues done, and if you have some final change proposal, like the first proposal is $50,000 and the final proposal is $52,000. So bring to me this insight. I don't want to check inside each issue to see if I have increased or decreased my proposal. I want to see a resume from Rovo if I had this. So it's more faster, more efficient, and more smart. And this is more also, oh, how can I say? It's like a playground, like your new best friend inside your job will be a Rovo agent. Yeah, I believe.
Yeah, and that information that's bringing is just the final proposal, but you could, for example, use the different agents that come with the marketplace to read attachments to have that information in besides the tools itself. Or you could use, for example, the new column to compare the differences between A and B, the first proposal and final proposal. You could also ask how long it took from the ticket to solve, so you can have an average time on how long it took to solve the ticket itself. So basically, the agent could do what a BI tool does, but without having the knowledge to build a report or even ask to build a report. You can just ask the question in simple English or whatever language you desire, and it will give you the information without having to export to an Excel or break your heads over. You can just ask for a table with 1,000 issues, and it will bring you that information so you can have the ready and make decisions on the go.
And you can ask to make some basic operations math, like, hey, bring the sum of his table, bring the sum of proposals. All my first proposal, bring the sum as a total. So Rovo is able to make basic math operations as well. So you don't need to export from a CSV or Excel file to apply some math operations, and a less step to be done, and more efficient, more view efficiency inside on a single page. The next one, let me pass. Yep. So the next one is about saving money. For this case, we gave to Rovo specific decisions about prioritization. So we built this Rovo agent based on your specific interests. Like if customers in this board is from technology segment, it should be prioritized to be contract. If it's not my prioritization segment, that is technology, maybe Rovo can decide by yourself which one I should prioritize to sign contracts. I know some days every customer is important, but maybe it has a case that we missed some important information, we missing some due date to send the contract to be hired and to be signed, and sometimes you need to make some TOKL, or see or take a look in your board and bring your team and say, hey, we have 10 issues to be signed, to be finished, and which one we're gonna prioritize here. We need to make a task force. Rovo can do a task force for you. You just need to say, hey, if I need of this prioritization in some case, if I ask it to you, help me to prioritization some issues, you should be able to prioritization following these guidelines. So you can pull in values if the contract value is 10,000 or less, so you can consider it. If it's more than 10,000, we can consider it. You can working with increase, decrease by percentile. And for this agent Rovo, I told him that for technology, the baseline minimum is 50,000. So if the contract is less than 50,000, Rovo will say, hey, you should consider an increase. You're gonna see in the answer, but it's just a quick insight that you can use it to make, hey, we have increase, decrease percentile for signing contracts, and Rovo can do this math calculation to us. Like if I increase 10% of this value, which will be my real value contract. So you can use Rovo for commercial proposals, for budget proposals as well.
Yeah, and like we mentioned, it can be literally anything surrounding the information around money or anything budget related. And with this agent, we try to really show you that how you can make decisions and bring in the information to your users or on the commercial side. And right now, this board looks very simple, but sometimes on the day-to-day use, you have 1,000 clients. So this information will be very, very helpful to shift through all the information that you're seeing on the screen and actually bringing in the information. Going back to the video, Fernando, let's play through the video and show you the options.
Yeah, misclick, sorry, not familiar with technology, guys. Just repeating the video is about, we have 3 contracts and blocked statuses, blocked columns, and I asked it to Rovo help me to prioritize, because if I not prioritize some of them, I will miss the 3 contracts. So sometimes it happens, it is what it is. Sometimes it don't happen, but we have segments inside those issues, and I'm telling the Rovo, hey, you need to help me to save me 1 or 2 contracts based on your knowledge. So based on your knowledge, which one I should prioritize, which one is not most important for me at this moment. And Rovo, you read the information inside the contract, will consider your knowledge, your instructions, and say, hey, we should prioritize this one here.
Yeah,
and this is the case, Fernando.
Just to expand on that, as you can see the information, the best part about it is there was just the values in the issues. So you could just have 50,000, we just had the basic information and basically create the whole text surrounding it, explaining why you should move towards those issues. And the parameters are always interchangeable. You can move them, move the goals at any point, increase the values, change which one, like which area you're prioritizing as a company at a flip of a switch. And Rovo will instantly learn and modify that to prioritize the new use cases. And the best part about it is this information is still the early information. The more you start using it, the more you give feedback, it will increase that and bring you more and more data to actually make decisions on which clients to prioritize, which projects to prioritize, which projects as a whole for the company based on your knowledge bases, on your Confluence pages are more important right now, which areas of your company are lacking. So basically, Rovo can be considered a center of intelligence for your company to make decisions and prioritize and make better choices on your day-to-day tasks.
And also starting contracts, but also for contract deadlines, contract terminations, contract renewals. You can use Rovo for all those cases. We just needed to, you can have a single Rovo agent, and you can have also a different agent for start contracts, termination of contracts, renewal contracts. You just needed to have the in your mind the clear idea about what this Rovo agent should be processes, which actions should I expected of this Rovo agent, and tell him. So when sometime you needed to talk with Rovo as you talk with your friends, like, hey, I expected to you make this one, consider this one, and this one, giving specific instructions, and it's done. Okay, you don't need to do anything else unless you need to adapt the Rovo instructions. Like if you want to make Rovo based on priority and values, you can do that. Just tell Rovo to consider a priority field and values inside the issue, or segment as we did, value and segment. Well, you can do anything you want using Rovo and Rovo instructions and Rovo interaction.
Yeah, and Rovo with Forge is also able to use APIs. So if your contract information is not inside Jira, there is no hurry. You will be able to retrieve the information on any other tool that you may use, considering that it has an API available. So basically with Forge, the sky's the limit. You can configure and integrate with any number of tools. Like I mentioned, it's still in the infancy, so we're going to see more and more connectors. But this product, literally a powerhouse.
And another feature that comes with Rovo is a new view of search and connectors. Rovo can be connected with external platforms, not only Jira, but you can connect to Rovo with Google Sheets, GitHub, Figma, any other external platform. You will be able to connect to Rovo and have a single place to search for your knowledge, your content. Okay, so Rovo has this. You can use search, so a completely new search interface that allows you to interact with Rovo and Atlassian Intelligence to find information more quick. So Rovo will access your Google Sheets, your Figma, your GitHub. Don't forget, always based on user permissions. So if you have not permission to see specific piece of content inside some spreadsheet, a specific piece of content in GitHub, Figma, or another platform that you have connected with Rovo, you'll not bring for the user. because it's based on user permission, even connected with external platform. So it's a safe place, not only inside Jira and Confluence, but also in another platform structure that you have connected with your Rovo agent.
Yeah, and like Fernando mentioned, basically you can connect with any tools. And the best part right now is they have those connectors that we're showing available, but Atlassian already mentioned that they have a very strong desire in the next couple months to expand the amount of connectors available. So you won't need to create anything in-house, and you be able to connect with those platforms easy, like in a easier setting. The idea is to do what automation did, launch a product and increase the features bit by bit. So you have a product that will be able to connect across the different, let's say, top tools in the market. And if you have, like I mentioned, an in-house software or anything that may have an API connection, we'll also be able to search that information and bring that information in.
Yeah, and last but not least, as you connected everything with Rovo, you're gonna see a simple place of search content. Okay, today maybe if you have Google Drive and GitHub and Figma or another platform that you are using to make your activities, make your job, and we know if you have Jira, all tasks going to Jira, like create a Google Drive, a Google Sheets for this case, create, make a deployment in this branch on GitHub. So you have the task in Jira, and you have the content in GitHub, and now you're gonna have all those things in the same place in Rovo. So if in another time you, hey, help me to find some content related to Confluence at all, Rovo will bring for all those connections and show to you, hey, based on your permissions, based on your prompt, we have this content piece is about Confluence in Jira, in Confluence for itself, but we have in GitHub, Confluence is mentioned, and you have in Google Spreadsheet or Google Docs, Confluence mentioned, everything in the same place. So we don't need to make a search in Google Drive to bring search for Confluence content, not give a simple query in GitHub to look for Confluence content and not Jira by itself. You can use Rovo as a single source of the truth, single source of the search content if you just connected all those platforms.
Yeah, and like Fernando mentioned, the biggest part for me is, let's say today that you want to create a report, like a simple table with information across your tools. Even something like EasyBI will struggle with that due to the fact that you're going to have to reach and even use API to mix things together. We will not be able to do that. With Rovo, you'll be able to connect that information and create tables with a simple prompt without needing to create the different reports, connect different tools. The tools are already connected. You can just ask a question and the relevant information will be brought in without any struggle, without you having to use outside tools to do that. Rovo will be able to literally connect all your databases, all your information banks, and bring you the up-to-date information. And you can even connect them together. Let's say, based on the KBs that we have and the amount of issues that we're delivering and the pipelines that are being deployed, what is the output for my company on the day-to-day tasks? We'll be able to give you the information. The idea is for you to be able to build reports, build different data, and gather all the information without having to, like Fernando mentioned, go through multiple tabs, export the information, go into a CSV or a Power BI tool, have to feed that into the tool, all the way for you to build a report where you can just write a simple prompt and be done with it.
Yeah, and as Rovo uses Atlassian Intelligence in your base, also if Rovo didn't found any content and Atlassian Intelligence works providing you some basic content like Rovo not found any content related, but Atlassian Intelligence will using public information to bring, hey, we have this piece of content here, maybe can be useful for you. So this part of the bigger ecosystem using artificial intelligence. It's not Rovo by itself, but Rovo with Atlassian Intelligence. And Rovo, you're gonna be the main resource to be used, but if Rovo is not able to make the search, make the connection, Atlassian Intelligence will try to bring the content for you. And you can see the right side, you have some already apps to be connected as Figma, you can see. So Rovo is not available to be connected with Figma. And also we're gonna have in the future all those platforms we already mentioned before in the previous slide, that Google Drive, GitHub, and we hope more platforms as well. And we know that some of you use plugins, add-ons in Jira, and Fernando mentioned previously, but we have also Rovo agents based on those apps. You don't need to create an app for the Script 100, whatever. Script 100 already has a built app with Rovo agent who helps you in your solutions. So some of time you don't need to be an expert of solutions in your daily activities. You just needed to make the smart questions for Rovo, and Rovo is gonna bring to you. And if you are using a custom Rovo agent, you just needed to give the right instructions to Rovo agent to work properly. So this is gonna be a new interface for search, a unified interface for search using Rovo, who connect all platforms that you have, if you want it, of course. If you don't want to connect with Rovo, feel free. But I think from my side, I will connect all platforms that will be possible to do, because it takes some time from technical perspective, bring documentation in Google Docs, bring another sheets and Google Sheets, and try to bring a Jira issue and try to find for a piece of content in Conference. And I just need to say, hey, Rovo, bring for me this content related for this prompt. And even in Jira, Conference, Google platform, GitHub, you're gonna show it to me in a simple place. So we are saving time, and saving time is the same thing that making money. Okay, so if we are saving time, we are automatically making money, because you are dedicating our real time for things that really need our attention.
Perfect. Like Fernando mentioned, the idea of Rovo is just to give you information and basically help your day-to-day. And now we're going to be open our last 5 minutes for a Q&A session. We have more of a statement, but I also think it's nice for us to tell you guys. One of the attendees mentioned the plan. We'll give the plan that we mentioned with HR. We'll give you a decision making with return on value based on market share, profit, and any other algorithm. And that's basically what we showed gray inside. And the idea is that you can input any calculations, any information on the Rovo side, and we'll provide that value for you. We'll provide those calculations for you beforehand. So you'll be up to date on any questions that your company may have, or any information that you may need to send to shareholders, your managers, or anybody in your company. Any more questions, guys? We have those 4 minutes. And then here we have another question regarding licensing. Yes. How much Rovo cost? Based on your user. So it's a user tier, but the same way as Jira and Confluence work, is a complete separate product. So you're going to have to pay a different license based on the amount of users that you have in your instance. But on our experience, Fernando can add up to that. It's totally worth the cost, the extra cost. And like we mentioned, it's not a plugin that will be installed as a different product. So we can consider like Atlassian Guard or anything like that that's outside of Jira, but it's fully connected and you can use inside your Atlassian tools as well.
Not all Atlassian tools, but with external platforms as well. So it brings more than a simple connection with Atlassian ecosystem. It's completely connection around your platforms. So it's more than just a agent to help us in Jira activities, in daily activities. It's more than this. It can be used for commercial purposes, for HR purposes, for IT purposes, and for content management purposes. And it's like has double Fernandos, but as a robot. So I believe everyone here wants to have one Fernando in your company as a Atlassian specialist, making personal marketing here, but you can have a similar using Rovo agent. Just build a Rovo agent and bring all capabilities using internal Atlassian ecosystem, but also using external platforms connected with Rovo.
We also have another question from Cherry. She asked us if you can send links through the email. Cherry, I'm gonna ask our commercial side to get in contact with you. Right now, we don't have any use cases for Rovo or any testament because the product is literally 15 days old. So, but we're gonna be able to send you documentation on the Rovo side and even schedule a call or anything that you may desire. I'm going to pass that request to our commercial side and they'll be reaching out to you. Any more questions, guys? So if we don't have any more questions, let's say our farewells. It's always a pleasure, guys. If you have any questions that may pop up in your head during the day, just feel free to reach us through Nimble or LinkedIn. We're more than happy to help. And as always, a great pleasure to have you guys on our webinars and hopefully see you next time. Fernando?
Yeah. Thanks, everyone. Hope to see you in the next webinars with more Rovo use cases. If you want to see specific Rovo use cases, you can suggest it to us using LinkedIn, Nimble LinkedIn or personal LinkedIns. And who knows, in the future, we can bring more Rovo use cases for specific suggestions that you gave us. And probably in the future, Anderson can confirm, but probably in the future, you're going to have more Rovo webinars when you have more Rovo use cases, more Rovo capabilities, more Rovo connections, just to leave you up to date around those big innovations that Atlassian gave us in the couple of weeks ago. And hope to see you on the next ones associating Rovo or another webinars. Please come to talk to us and come to see how Atlassian ecosystem is going a better platform to be used for any team. Anderson, if you're not here, please leave your final considerations as well.
Yes, I'm here. I just cannot open my camera, but once again, thank you all for joining us today. And just like to reinforce, follow us in our social media soon. We'll be posting about new webinars, not only about Rovo, but other cool stuff, cool solutions, cool implementations that we did, cool use cases. Thank you, guys. Thank you all. Thank you, Fernando Campos. Thank you, Fernando Eugênio, once again.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Always a pleasure.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.